Today, Sunday, May 14, 2023, we talk on the Platform Sutra, the chapter of Prajna. Last time we talked about the meaning of samadhi. And samadhi could be coming into many aspects of explanation. And we do anything that we are very concentrated right there, either meditate or doing prostration or walking or even do calligraphy. We could also enter into samadhi. But over here, now today we continue on talking about this. And what about the teaching of the Buddha? What is it about that is the Platform Sutra is talking about in this aspect? And how do we practice this prajna samadhi or samadhi of prajna? Now, the meaning of prajna is the wisdom of emptiness. Not only having wisdoms, but that has to have the so-called emptiness in there. And you actually experience that. Experience the so-called, the real emptiness. And this is called prajna. So, and it's called prajna. That is to say, not attached to inner, not attached to outer, not attached to people, not attached to ourselves, and not to attach to any phenomenon, any of the phenomena of the world. So this is called emptiness. So that is the meaning of prajna samadhi. We could realize that. Then we have questions. If we have very big vexations and we want to get rid of that vexations. Now, the wanting to get rid of the vexation, could we consider it as attachment? Well, when we have vexations, when we are vexed, then of course we want to get rid of that. So in order to get rid of that vexations, then we practice Buddha Dharma. And this is the beginning stage of learning about the Buddha. And while we are practicing and we're thinking that vexation is really something terrible, and we annoyed by the vexations. And anytime we want to just cut it off, then at that moment, we could refer to as attachment. And no matter what, you just don't like being vexed. You're really annoyed by it. That itself is also a vexation. So the idea of feeling aversion to vexations itself is a vexation. And then you add one more vexation into it. Well, in the beginning, we just have one vexation. Now we add one more to it. Of course, that is attachment. So if we just feeling aversion to vexation itself, and that itself is a vexation. And then besides that, we add one more vexation to it. Then of course, is not realizing emptiness. So there one time, one person came to our teacher, Master Seng Yen. He said that, well, he recently encountered some spiritual disturbances, and he was asking for advice from our teacher. So Master Seng Yen said that, okay, just recite the Diamond Sutra, and you don't care about the spirit that bother you. All you need to do is just recite the Diamond Sutra. Either the spirits follow you or not, you just don't care. And every day you recite the Diamond Sutras 3 times or more, and see after 3 months what will happen. And our teacher explained to him, giving an analogy, saying that for dog, if you pet the dog will like to be around you. And if you don't like the dog, you beat the dog, then it's possible that the dog will bite you. So if you don't care or ignore the dog, then after the dog was around you, and it just follow you. And if you just ignore the dog, then it doesn't feel like, and it will feel uninterested. Then the dog will leave. So if you just recite the Diamond Sutra, and here the so-called talking about emptiness, the absolute emptiness in Diamond Sutra, means that you just ignore them, but it doesn't mean that you don't practice. You need to practice diligently, and eventually you will realize what is this so-called prajna samadhi. So therefore, we still need to recite Diamond Sutra. And if we come or if we run into some problems, then we just recite the Diamond Sutras. And if we could realize the so-called prajna samadhi, then the spirit will not go after you. So this is the practice of prajna samadhi. And remember that referring to not attach, non-attachment to inner, outer, to people, to situation in life. Nothing is attached. But still, we need to practice. So, in the Prajna chapter, continue on, it was saying that you should realize that the merits of this sutra are immeasurable and unlimited. They are clearly praised within the sutra. I cannot explain them fully here. This is quite interesting because whenever the Buddha was speaking, he always said that this is the best sutra. And in the Diamond Sutra, it prays that Diamond Sutra has the top merits among other sutras. And why is this Diamond Sutra is the best? Well, actually, any sutra, the Buddha will always praise. This is the best. So when the Buddha was preaching, giving a sutra, then it doesn't matter what audience are there. There are different times, different situations, different audience. But anytime that he was preaching, he will praise that this Dharma is the best. For us, when we listen to the Dharma talk with the Sutra, every time when we listen, we also need to tell ourselves, this time I'm listening to the Dharma talk. It's the best sutra that I heard. And anytime when you hear about the preaching of a sutra, you should think that this is the best sutra that I ever heard. And actually, Sakyamuni Buddha has given an analogy, something like this. There's a piece of gold, and we make it into a chain, a necklace. And well, if you make it into a piece longer gold, so in this longer piece of gold, you mark it section by sections. So either it is in the middle or next to the middle, the left side or the right side. It's all good because it's the same goal that make it into one long chain. So all of the goal, all part of it, any part of that piece of gold, it just go. Therefore, only those who are done with it will say that the top part is better. The later part is better. The end part is better. And or saying that the middle part is better. And then the other part is not good. Therefore, it is to say that when we listen to the Dharma talk, when we are reading the sutras, you should think that this is the best one, the best sutra. And please, of course, do not think another way and change thinking that maybe other sutra is better. And therefore, it's not a good idea to compare. So you could say that, yeah, that this is the best part, but the other sutra is also the best. And why did the Buddha say something like that? It is because the time of the Buddha, when he was preaching, he wants the audience to give rise to this faith. And they will not doubt about the sutra that they listen to. Therefore, at that time, that what they hearing from the Buddha, what they hear from the Dharma, it is the best. So don't think that when we listen to the Dharma talk, don't make comparisons. And of course, try not to criticize others. Now, if you use this attitude to your life, then think about it. What part of your life is the best? For some people, for example, for a female, is that when you are a little girl, or when you're a young lady, or when you grown up, or when you get old, when you are a mother, or when you are not married yet, you don't have family yet? Well, if we ask this question like this, probably there will be different answers. Some will say, now that I'm old, this age is the best. And some will say, to be a mother is the best time. Or some will say that the time that I'm most beautiful, 18, teenage, young, and that is the best part. And there are couples who may quarrel that when before I get married, you were so good, so nice, but after get married, you changed. How come? Seems like it's a different person. You are a different person. What do you think? Everything changing. Everything is changing. But we should appreciate the moment right now. So if you really understand this, then whatever that you have right now is the best moment. Whatever that you are in contact right now, whatever that you hear right now is the best. So this is the teaching of the Buddha Dharma. But still, there are people who have doubt. Well, somebody helping you, yeah, it's good, but how somebody it's giving you a hard time, somebody scold you, and somebody try to destroy you, destroy your work. How could you appreciate that? Now, of course, that is not easy. But we also need to know that all the things that happens, there must be reasons. There must be a reason or some reasons. And it is not necessary that this lifetime that's what we've done that causing it, but it's the accumulation from the past, many lifetimes before, it built up, accumulated, and then we will receive the result or the retribution, either this lifetime or in the future lifetimes. And in the future lifetime, it also is endless. And therefore, since we have done something, we create some karma as the cause. And since there are causes, there is a cause, or there are causes. Therefore, later on, the result will come. So since it's going to come anyway, if it is coming today or tomorrow, it's the same. And if you say, I don't want to accept it right now, I would wait until tomorrow to deal with it. Wow, it's going to be different, because the more we postpone it, it will come into even greater force for us. So therefore, things that is not in favor of us, and it won't make us happy, and you are really unwilling to accept them, but actually we should accept them, whatever comes. So when it comes, yes, let it be. Although you may not feel comfortable at all, but things that come, then it will come anyway. If we use another attitude of just to accept that, then at least we will not feel that vex. We will not feel like, I don't want this to happen. And you may not feel angry about it. So you don't have this kind of vexations with you. Therefore, every day when we encounter something, it is also considered as it's good. Well, we know that in our life, we encounter things that is unfavorable for us many times, but also things that are not in our favor. The situation that is adversity, but you should treat it as, that's the way it is. Of course, you know that whatever happens, good thing, it's good thing. Bad thing is bad thing. But we will not feel very unstable, and we will not give rise to vexations. Now, according to the platform Sutra, it says here, the prajna is for teaching. The prajna teaching is for those with great wisdom, those with very good roots. But also the sixth patriarch also said that, well, the so-called Buddha nature is no difference from people in the north or from the south. And why over here that they have this kind of differentiation of the so-called karmic roots? Because it says that this teaching is the supreme vehicle. It is preached for those of great wisdom. It is preached for those of superior capacities. Those of small capacities and small wisdom who hear it will generate doubt. Over here, it says that according to the Diamond Sutra, Diamond Sutra is for those of great wisdom. And the people of the smaller wisdom, when they hear it, they will not give rise to fate. The most great or the supreme vehicle or the yana, referring to the mean of transportation. Now, it is just the analogy of the Buddha Dharma as a vehicle, a transportation mean. So it will bring us with all kinds of fixation and suffering to liberation. So that we could end our vexation, we could end our suffering. And that is what it means by these great vehicles. And how do we reach that destination? Then we need different kinds of transportation means. And the Diamond Sutra is the best transportation mean among other transportation means. Therefore, it's called the highest or the top vehicles, the so-called yana. But why? Why Diamond Sutra is the best among others? Well, for the other Buddhist teaching is telling us to start from the 5 precepts and then the 10 virtuous precepts, and of course, taking the refuge. And then we practice samadhi, and then practice wisdom, and then we acquire wisdom, and eventually realize liberation. So it's step by step and gradual approach, one by one that you go. But for the Diamond Sutra, it's not like this. And the practice of Diamond Sutra is that right from the beginning, we started out the so-called no form. So the so-called no form is that telling us not to attach to the phenomena within ourselves. Either it's psychologist, is psychological phenomena, or it is just certain concept. And also, we don't attach to all the phenomena of the world, physiology, and do not attach to our body, our physical body, all the phenomena, physiology. So we don't attach to them. That is to say, although our mind, our thought is moving non-stop, but we will not take them as something unchangeable. It is just some activities that's going on. And the same thing is that whatever that we see in our environment, either physical or non-physical, they are changing all the time. And because of all these, we try not to give rise to like or dislike or angry or sad or happiness. All of these attachments we should not give rise to. That is to say, we don't take this body as a healthy, as a pity. Because of all these, then we give rise to this excitement, we give rise to this pride, or we give rise to this grief in all kinds of feeling of like and dislike very much. So in the Dharma Sutra, it's called no form. If we could do so, then we will reach enlightenment. Seeing out nature and reaching Buddhahood. And because Diamond Sutra, the teaching of it, that we could really actualize the no form. Therefore, it's called the supreme vehicle or the supreme jhana, the great jhana. So it doesn't tell us to practice gradually. And the so-called no form, actually it means emptiness. Emptiness is very good, but emptiness could all be quite scary. If someone with a very good virtuous roots, they heard about this teaching, emptiness, the teaching of no form, they could get enlightened right away. They could realize the nature right away. If for those with very shallow virtuous roots, people with a lower wisdoms, then it's possible they will think that, okay, I don't have to do anything. It's emptiness anyway. So this referring to the people, the lazy people. Another situation is that someone would think, oh, since it's empty anyway, so I could do anything because it's empty. So this could be quite scary. This refers to some evil person, some bad person. And of course, among us, we will not be not like that. And we also will not be the lazy people. Because if you're lazy, then you're not here to really hear the Dharma, listen to the Dharma, right? If you are really listen to the Dharma, willing to practice, and then if you really work hard, work diligently, so move on to it, then you could advance into this person with great wisdom. So although talking about this, the top jhana or the highest vehicles, we may not get enlightened yet. But when you hear about it, at least we don't give rise to doubt. And therefore, it's still quite useful. Now, what is it that about this, the person with great wisdom? One is that when you hear about the Dharma, naturally you will become enlightened. Just like Sakyamuni Buddha, he did not hear anything about the Dharma, but he himself enlightened to the Dharma. So this is referring to the person of great wisdom. Another kind of person is that they may heard one or twice a few words about Dharma, and they understood things that are related to the Dharma. And the way they understood more profound. And for all of us, how many teaching have you heard? And after you hear about a Dharma, what is it that you understand? Well, the actual Dharma is not something that we could talk about. It is not something that we use our logical thinking to think about. But if we understand that, that is not easy already. So the real Dharma referring to the so-called inconceivable, it has to do with realizations. If it is just to the understanding, to knowledge, then it's just the thinking, but we don't actualize yet. So, but also there is another possibility of people who think that there's something in the Dharma, in the teaching there. There must be something that they could get. And now when listen to the Platform Sutra talking about this, Diamond Sutra and talking about this emptiness, then they may feel despair. Well, since there's nothing there, what is it that is mixing? What makes sense if I continue on to listen to it? And they may feel like, oh, this is scary. Oh, the other time I was talking, and then I talk about this. You know, we need to let go of our attachment, and let go of all of the bad situations, and also let go of even the good situation. And eventually, at the end, even letting go of this method that you're using. And someone respond to me that, don't tell me that even that I have to let go the last moment. I'm not ready yet. Actually, yes, possible that this person is not ready. Because if you think that, okay, everything is let it go, then why bother to practice very well? Okay. So I'll stop here. I hope that you understand what this talk about.